work. I just don't. I don't know what to do. I guess I'm gonna have to find one of these secondary apps to stream through YouTube or to YouTube through, because I don't. YouTube's app is just dysfunctional at this point. It's literally becoming unusable. Hello, pirates. You can't even hear me. It's the most frustrating thing in the world, man, to be like a monetized creator and trying to do good on the platform and trying to, like, when I make money, this platform makes money. So you would think that they would have like a very heavy incentive to make sure that all of the different methods they give someone for making content, you can hear me? Thank God. Okay. You would really think that all of the methods they give you for making content would be kept up and flawless. Like, I don't get it. I think that and Google has the money to do this. It's just an unwillingness to fund it. I think that monetized creators, like, should at some point get access to like some kind of quick and easy like emergency call-in line. Google could afford to contract out 7 or 8 call centers to take care of all the monetized creators and make sure that if something is happening repeatedly and just doesn't make any sense, or if their channel gets banned for no reason or whatever, they've got a line they can contact. I don't get why that's not a thing. Pretty much like every company out there has, like, Google has call centers they contract with. They could expand that. Whatever. This is just back end complaining on my part. Hello, Lady Ray. Are you a woman? Yes. Aloha, sis. How you? I'm honestly genuinely angry. I've been trying my best to stream all night, and for some reason, I've had to start like 5 streams tonight because 2 of them just had no audio for some reason. One of them had audio but didn't it was just stuck in 20 viewer mode. I don't know, like, nothing was different about my presentation. In fact, my performance was a lot more elevated than it has been, like, throughout most of this year. I flatly don't get it. It feels like there's some kind of back-end bug. So I reset my data. I hard reset the app again. I hope that it starts working soon. I sent a bug report into Google. Hopefully that will maybe lead to an app fix. Can you explain why you're a woman using critical thinking? Sure. Woman is it's a describer of gender, and gender is a complex set of internal and external signifiers about how people feel about themselves and how they perceive other people to feel about themselves. Stereotypes and behaviors we associate with a given set of like other stereotypes and traits, but it's all social and psychological. And as a result, there are people called transgender people who were born according to one sexual profile, but realize at some point in life that the gender that is associated typically with that sexual profile does not match up with their real gender. It doesn't match up with what they are, as we would say, on the inside. And as a result, they come out as trans. They start dressing differently very often. Very often we cut our hair differently. Very often we'll get on hormone replacement therapy to get our hormone profile more in line with the sex that's commonly associated with the gender that we do identify with. And that is the scientific background of me as a trans woman and every other trans person. That sounds religious. Maybe you just don't understand the science then. It sounds like you should look into it. Look up Mayo Clinic transgenderism and you can read all about it. They've got a really good write-up that is specifically written for lay people to be able to understand the difference between gender and sex, and what trans people go through, and what their treatment path looks like, and all of that. It's funny you mentioned that about the hormones. A lot of trans people already do actually experience hormone creation that is more in line with their the gender that they actually identify with than it is with the sex that they were assigned at birth. For example, my whole life, I've really not grown much body hair. That's why, like, I shave, but you can see, like, you know, I haven't shaved my whole body in like 2 or 3 days, but yet, see, no hairs. And it would take me a good month of not shaving for me to even grow like a noticeable little thing where, like, if you got close enough, I would be like, oh, she's got some peach fuzz on her arms. Also, even before I went through hormone replacement therapy, I was always told I had a very androgynous face, and I always kind of benefited from that because I was like, yeah, I totally do. And I was glad that I did. But like my weight distribution has always been more feminine. Like I've never done a hormone profile or whatever, but I would imagine that just like without hormone replacement therapy or anything, I probably don't produce nearly as much testosterone as the average assigned male at birth person does. And there's lots of trans people for whom a similar situation is true. Listen to Damage yet? One of them, Smiths, you'll have to forgive me. I did think about it, and I've been thinking about it all day. I just haven't done it yet because I've been fucking like running around frantically trying to get a bunch of different shit done and trying to fucking promote and trying to fucking, I don't know, dude. But it has been in my head. I've been thinking about it. God's Image, Damage. I wonder if we could listen to it on stream later. I'll see about that. Maybe we can listen to it when we get inside, because I do have a really nice pair of Bose headphones, and it would be nice to listen to it through those. And I usually do the stream with those on. Blessed be, blessed be. Why are you trans? Because I am. What do you mean? Like, why am I trans? Because like living as a man felt suffocating and horrible, and living as a woman has made me feel like better and confident and like fully actualized. So I'm like, yeah, okay, cool, I'll stick with it, I guess. Like I don't know exactly what you're looking for. Like, are you talking about like what's the back end, like what are the scientific principles that belie it? That would be like psychology and gender and like all these other topics. Why trans but not gay? I mean, I'm bisexual, but how you feel about your personal gender has nothing, or at least very little, to do with your sexuality, as in who you want to have sex with or who you want to have sex with you. You're not a woman, though? Sure I am. What makes you think you're the one who gets to determine that? Womanhood and manhood are not actually based on genitalia, because you can't see a person's genitalia walking around at the supermarket. It's based on assumptions that we make based off what someone presents as. When people buy into your lie, it makes a sick person sicker. It's literally the opposite. When people deny transgender people's validity, that is what causes trans people to kill themselves in greater numbers. That is what causes trans people's lives to be degraded, because the science has shown over 100 fucking years of studying the topic that trans people are not a unique phenomenon limited to one culture or one geography, but rather a shared experience of humanity that aligns with about 0.6% of the population, that causes us to feel uncomfortable with the gender assignments given to us at birth. If you can't even use spell check to spell the word more right, don't talk to me about pseudo-intellectual anything, please. Spare yourself the embarrassment. Don't make me read your badly misspelled comment out loud. No, they don't know the difference between chromosomes, which is sex, and gender, which is an entirely social construct. But some of them do actually know the difference, and they choose to not recognize it because they are obstinate. They are, like children, petulant about the facts. They don't like the fact that they can't have ice cream for breakfast, so they're going to throw a fit and throw their bottle and get really mad and go, but really, they cannot refute the science because they're not scientists, they're not sociologists, they're retards on the internet. We trans people are eternal, and we will always be here, so you can see it all you want. We will keep flourishing and keep supporting each other. Yep, 100%. Based plus red-pilled plus intelligent plus smart plus reasonable plus goated. W in the chat. I feel like you are rage baiting yourself, girl. People are so ignorant. Why don't you play Sky Children of the Light with me instead? I'm not rage baiting myself. I don't get raged out from these comments. I make money off these comments. Me responding to these comments is what makes me an interesting and fun personality to listen to. Should I be shamed because I'm Christian? No, but I do think that we need to be more critical of Christianity. So, like, if you're just like a regular Christian, then no, I don't think people should be making fun of you. I don't think that people should like randomly accost people they see like walking around in the street with a cross around their neck. But if you're standing out on the street proselytizing, yeah. Like, if you're a street preacher, I think that someone should stand right next to you, record the interaction, and shout you down. Yeah. For as long as the interaction takes for the street preacher to become convinced that they're a stupid piece of shit and move to a different block. Because the lack of opposition to this kind of like fundamentalist death cult nonsense is what has led to things like the war in Iran. It's what has created the conditions where something like that can happen, and there's no effective, coalesced, united anti-war movement. Despite the fact that most people in America don't want the war already, like, it's already got Iraq level numbers after like 5 years of that conflict, but we fucking, like, there's no, what's the mass movement? No King's Day? Come on, that was 4 hours. That was like 4 hours on a random Saturday. It's not, I mean, it's great, it's good. Protest, you should definitely do it. Get out there, know your community, get to know your neighbors, yada, yada, yada. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. All I'm saying is that it's going to take more, a lot more, to end a conflict like this. Trump is Lord King Esquire. Shut the actual fuck up. You don't believe that for a freaking second. I can't buy it. I'm sorry. Wait, okay, I just got here. What are we discussing? Sit around and listen for a minute and you'll figure that out. Republican here, and I'm against this war with you. Thank you. Thank you. I keep telling people there are people on the right and the left that oppose this war. You know who doesn't oppose this war, though, brother? Our politicians. They are the ones who are fundamentally for this war, no matter what they say. Just look at the rhetoric of a man like Hakeem Jeffries or a man like Chuck Schumer, much less the Trump administration, who clearly want Greater Israel to happen. Mike Huckabee is like, you know, he's sucking off Netanyahu every chance he gets. So, like, leaving them aside, even if you look at the Democrats, they are clearly interested in this war. What are they doing to stop it? Nothing. They're not even trying. They're not even putting up a base effort. The American people oppose this war. There are some toadies of the ruling class among the American people that are for this war, but there is a broad majority of people here in America that already oppose it, that already hate it. We need to get loud. We need to start making some noise. This is something we could unite as a country around. But will we? I don't know, man. Seems unlikely to me under current conditions. Anti-Zionist Republican here, free Palestine. Hell yeah, free Palestine. Hell yeah, free Palestine. Fuck yeah. I hope you're just a halfway smart Republican and not like secretly a Nazi. Let me just make sure, okay? Let me just make sure, okay? And because you've been polite, I'll give you a chance, you know, even if you do have an answer that's a little scary. Arabian, are you... Does the term JQ mean anything to you? I have to sniff this out before we proceed further. You're not a girl? Hey, keep spamming that in my chat. I love to see the interaction. I really don't give a fuck what you think about my gender identity. Thanks. Nice sweater? No part of my outfit is a sweater. I will have nightmares. Hate this algorithm. Bye, whiny bitch. Where are they at? Where are they at? Where are they at? Arabian. Come on now. I need your answer. Arabian. Stunning us with his answers. I gotta check all these hidden answers because it's probably somewhere there. Yeah, probably a good idea. See, Lady Ray gets it. Yeah, see, we're not finding it. Yeah, I think Arabian just dropped by to drop $2 and then left. I guess I'll check their, let me check their thing. Maybe they did something and it's just, you know, not showing up. No. Whatever, man. Hopefully they're not a JQ, or hopefully they're not a Nazi. You can be an intelligent Republican who's just like, whatever. I usually think the Republicans are more conservative on fiscal policy. And, you know, with the exception of the neoconservative strain, they tend to be less hawkish on foreign policy sometimes. And, like, whatever, you know, I think they might be totally wrong on that, but at least it's a more reasonable position, right? But there's also the strain of, like, Republicans that are, like, they've got the right positions on some things, but then you dig into it and you realize they're part of the Nick Fuentes wing of the party. And I'm sorry, but if your answer to all of life's problems is we just need to get rid of the Jews, I can't get behind that. It's bad. It's bad politics. It's just stupid. So I gotta sniff that out when somebody starts, you know, saying like, "Hey, I'm super on the right, but I'm against Israel." Because there's like two kinds of people, right? Like there's the smart Republican who just like genuinely wants us to, like, I don't know, like the true like tradcon, I guess, like the ancient fucking tradcon that thinks we need to be like isolationist and fucking believes in like this weird idea of, you know, helping to establish other countries' freedom by being a shining beacon. Like they've got this weird fucking 1950s idea of the world, and at least it's kind of like based on some sort of idealism that's at the core of it kind of positive. But then there's like the Nazis, who the only reason why they are like free Palestine is because they hate the Jews. Partian Judeo-Arab here. Okay, cool. I just had to make sure, Arabian. I'm sorry. I just had to make sure. You understand my confusion? Like, or not my confusion, but do you understand why I always want to scoop that out first? Before I start agreeing too hard with somebody? You know? Because I am not a fucking anti-Semite. My criticisms of Zionism are principled. My criticisms of Israel are principled. And it's like has nothing to do with the fact that it's Jewish people. Because the way bigger danger when it comes to Zionism is Christian Zionism. They're the ones who actually have power in the world. Your pronouns are she, her, right? I don't want to misgender you. Yes, indeed. By the way, here in like 10 minutes, we're going to be ending this stream, which we finally got to work. And we're going to be going over to a call-in show that was paid for by donations by people like you. And we will be updating the stream goal. I will let you guys know more about that when we go over there. But if you've ever wanted to debate me live through call-in, just let, you know, let yourself have the time to do so. I don't know why I said let as the beginning of that sentence. So I had to figure out some way to save it. Anyway, just this one time, be like Israel and double tap to like. Yeah, literally. Normally, I would not encourage anyone to double tap. But in this one instance, yes, you can double tap the screen of your phone to like the stream. Long live King Trump. You don't believe in a king. You don't want a king. I don't believe that for a second. I gotta use the bathroom, but you guys go ahead and send lots of super chats. Whoa. Holy shit. I stepped outside for a second. And I am reasonably sure I saw a shooting star. I can't be 100% sure, but I'm pretty certain that's what I just saw. It's pretty cool. Did you make a wish? I did. But in true superstitious fashion, I'm not going to tell you guys about it because that nullifies the wish. Imagine being so dissatisfied with your life you have to harass randoms on a YouTube live, lol. Are you talking about me or the chat? You smoke drugs? I smoke tobacco, and I guess that is a form of a drug, but it's not exactly, not exactly what most people think of. Women brush their teeth? I brush my teeth too. They're yellow because I smoke and because I had a really long fucking sweet tea habit. And to this day, I still drink coffee, which also kind of yellows your teeth over time. And I'm not rich enough to afford veneers, nor would I want them. I kind of like the idea of having a little something to show with your teeth. I will say, though, as I start to have more success on YouTube, I will eventually be definitely employing the services of a regular dentist for like regular checkups and cleanings and stuff like that. Make sure if I do have like any teeth that are getting impacted, because I know one of my wisdom teeth is falling apart inside my mouth, but it's not affecting any other teeth. It's not causing any pain. So I'm kind of just like dealing with it for now because I really don't have any other option. But eventually I do want to get those extracted. And I think that's really the only major thing that needs done. Like I don't have any cavities. I don't have any bad spots where there's like bad enamel wear as far as I know. I might need like one filling maybe. But compared to a lot of Americans at my age, I'm actually doing okay because I do regularly brush my teeth. I don't floss nearly as often as I should, but I do regularly brush. Wow, you have a plan? I've got a whole freaking plan. I've got a plan for this channel. It might not look like I've got one most of the time because I'm still, I'm working and grinding towards something. I'm trying to figure out my rhythm and beat, I understand now something I didn't understand 6 months ago, which is that I'm still very much on the come up and I'm still trying to figure it out. And I don't have all the answers, and I'm really in the position where I need to branch out, try different things, keep fucking grinding at it, dedicate as much time as I possibly can to it. Because, that is the key to success. I'm already making enough money to pay my bills off of it. Now is the time to make it into something that I can, turn into like something that I could possibly create a little bit of generational wealth with, maybe. Did you DIY the shirt? I did. This is was originally made out of I believe the tag is still on it. Let's see here. Somewhere. I think. Maybe. Possibly. Yeah. So it's a Dickies denim shirt. It originally had sleeves. I cut the sleeves off, as you can see. I did not hem them because I liked kind of the frayed look, but I did cut them past the hemline so that it wouldn't fall apart. It's got over 40 lighter trophies between the neck and these little sleeve parts. These patches are a wide variety of different patches. Some of them I made myself after the original designs faded. Some of them are the original designs that I got from various different people. Some of them at rainbow gatherings. Some of them from an old friend. Lots of patches on it, though. You know, I need to get more political patches, though. Most of these patches that are political are dated from like 2020. So I need a new set of patches for sure. And I did have a leftist patch maker reach out to me and offer to like give me some. And I never reached back out to them because I got all depressed and shit. So I need to hit that person up and see if they, hate me. Because opinions do shift on me from time to time. Someone will come across a take of mine they don't like, or a way I worded something badly, and then they're like, nah, the jacket is fucking iconic. Thank you. You need to get a job? I do. I have this. This is what I do. Every month I make a little bit more. So I must be doing something right. I keep growing by about 400 to 500 subs a month. It's not great growth, but it's consistent. And every so often, I really go on a tear and I'm able to produce some content that really gets the subs going a lot. Ran out of water in my cup and I don't feel like refilling it. The jug it's getting close. It's getting close enough now to empty that I can just lift it up on my own. I mean, I could anyway, but it's, harder to grip it when it's like mostly full. Get a leather jacket. I do want to start customizing other jackets and making me a few different ones. Maybe I can do different themes and everything. Some people have even talked about the idea of like, Phoebe, you could do those on commission. And I could. I could also make them, oh my God, here's an idea. Oh my God, here's an idea. And if I say it out loud on the stream, maybe I can come back to it and listen to it. So what if I used creating one of these around a specific theme as the basis for making a video about a topic related to that theme? So it's like I could make a jacket that's all about like being against war, and that has specific references to the Iran war, while talking about like the lead up to this conflict and how it's happened and stuff like that. Or I could even like use that as an interspersal footage between like news clips of things going on or pictures of people related. Do you play guitar often? If so, do you make guitar/music content? I mean, I stream, like whenever I do these streams, sometimes I'll play the guitar. I probably won't tonight because we're about to go do a call-in stream. I was supposed to leave like 5 minutes ago and do it, but I guess we'll probably head out in like a couple of minutes to do that. I don't know. But yeah, so tonight I'm like trying to do a call-in stream, but yeah, like every so often I'll play the guitar on stream. I occasionally will do a cover of a song that I upload to the video section, but it's not altogether too common anymore. I just feel like I don't really have any good ways of recording music that sounds good, and not because like people always say I sound good on stream, so I don't think it's that there's anything wrong with my performance. I think it's literally just I don't have a very singing all loud and shit. You're a wonderful woman. Don't let anyone bring you down. Aw, thank you. Look at that. See, there is some light left in the world. Haters and trolls. Is it because it sounds like a man's voice? I don't know. That's not the like. People don't usually tell me that, but maybe. It's not the problem I have with it. I actually don't think my voice sounds manly at all, but maybe, maybe. I don't know. As a person who doesn't experience like tremendous amounts of dysphoria from my voice, it's hard for me to imagine that it's that. But maybe. Fuck the trolls. I agree. But also the trolls, they're useful. It sounds like you've done voice training to me. See, I've got them all fooled. No, I don't, like, I haven't done any voice training. I mean, I definitely feel like there was a time in my life where I noticed my voice was getting deeper, and I actively worked against that so that it didn't get like crazy deep, because I just, knew even back then that I was not satisfied with being thought of as a man. So I guess that's maybe a form of voice training, but I never like looked up any voice training aids. I never watched any of the guides or paid any attention to that. I just kind of, did my own thing. I just talked in a way that I was okay with, and I still talk like that to this day. Honestly, like, the only time that I feel like my voice doesn't, maybe sound traditionally feminine, but maybe just like low, is when I get like really tired and I've been smoking a lot, because at a certain point my voice just becomes all gravel, and that can be bad. Like when I run out of water and I've been smoking a lot, and I just kind of sound like this. I sound like one of those anti-smoking commercials. That's not a good look. People can have yellowing and stains while regularly brushing their teeth. Y'all are mean. Oh, of course they're mean. That's their only point for existing. That's the reason why they wake up in the morning. Literally. Literally. That's why when I constantly talk about this Iran war and its trifecta of interests, that's why I talk about the ghouls. These people being mean in chat are the ghouls. And they make up a good third of America's populace. You need to be on the lookout for these people, because they make other people's day miserable, not just online. You see these Karens bitching out and fucking chimping out on fucking Reddit? A lot of that's the same attitude. Do you like Iran? Complicated question. Do I like the current government of Iran? Not particularly. Do I like the culture of Iran? I guess it depends on what you mean. Iran is a very culturally diverse country, and there's plenty of places where the culture is honestly not that dissimilar to like rural American culture at its best, Like there's also examples of rural American culture at its worst, and there are corresponding examples in Iran. But Iran is a fully developed country. It's a first world fucking nation that's got a first world economy and a first world military. The only thing it doesn't have is an expansive array of jet fighters and shit like that. It doesn't have like a superior air force, but it's got a modern military. It's got a modern economy. It's got big modern cities that look a lot like American cities. I think there's a lot to like about Iran. It's one of the world's like longest lasted civilizations. Iran wouldn't be very kind to someone like you. Somebody doesn't know about how Iran deals with trans people. Trans people are able to get gender reassignment surgery in Iran. Did you know that? Except the food is 1,000. Yeah, well, yeah, duh. The food is way fucking tastier, because they're right there in the Middle East, where, like, I don't know what it is about the Middle East and India. Really, like, just all of Asia in general, whether it's like what we call like the Mid East, which is like, Southwest Asia, basically, mostly in North Africa, or Central Asia, or fucking Eastern Asia. There are just so many amazing food cultures that came out of these places, especially compared to their northern and western neighbors. You look at Great Britain and it's like, how the fuck? Like, French cuisine, I guess, is good, but honestly, like, French, German, English, Spanish food. I mean, all these fucking all these countries have their highlights. But honestly, do any of them measure up in any way to Indian food, to Pakistani food, Bangladeshi food, Iranian food, Persian food? No. New sub here. Just want to say I love the message of this channel. Never change. Aw, hell yeah. That makes me feel good. Oh, that makes me feel good. See if I can get a few last drags out of this before we go. Will you raise your future kids as Christian? No, why would I? And I don't have to worry, like, I don't want to talk too much about it, but let's just say I don't have to, it's not a hypothetical for me. No, I'm not. I'm not, and I don't intend to. I'm also not going to shelter them from the, like, I'm not going to shelter them from the influence that religion has had, nor restrain them from pursuing a religious identity should they seek one out. But I'm going to answer questions honestly about how I feel. How would you have kids? I mean, I still have a functioning penis, and I was not on HRT long enough to lose my fertility. So I guess you can watch some trans porn and imagine it if you want to. I don't know. I only just noticed the guitar in the background. It looks cool, though. All right. Well, you know what? Before we go to the call-in stream, we'll play a song on the guitar. That could be a good way for us to get some energy out, right? Cans of food, filtered water, pictures of you. And I'm not coming out until this is all over. And I'm looking through the glass, the light fades at the cracks. And I'm screaming at the top of my lungs, pretending to be echoes. Belong to someone that I used to know. And will become silhouettes when the bodies finally go. Walk through the empty streets, there's something solid underneath my feet. But all the radio reports recommended that we stay indoors, because the air outside the bay, ourselves divided and alarming rate. And the boils that'll form will fill with pus until our skin cracks and they explode. And it won't be a pretty sight. And we'll become silhouettes when our bodies finally go. And will become silhouettes when our bodies finally go. Postal Service, yep. I figured some of you guys might know that song. Yep, that was the Postal Service. We Will Become Silhouettes. I actually based my version off of the Shins cover, if you want to know like more about my specific version. But yeah. Where are the parrot bed sheets from? They're so cool. This is literally just fabric. This is fabric from a fabric store, as far as I can tell. I used it for a blanket for the longest time when I was living on the road. Then I used it as like a bottom layer for the van, and it was really pretty. I mainly use it as a cover for things these days. I use it for a blanket for a long time, but it's honestly not the best blanket. It doesn't have very good thermal capacity or whatever you call it. So it's mostly good as a cover for things, you know? Sorry if you've answered before, but how long have you been playing and singing? Well, playing, I've been playing for about 10 or 11 years. Singing, I've been doing since I was a little ass baby. I mean, if my own progeny is to be any example, and I was anything like that, which based on conversations I've had, I think I probably was. I've been singing my whole life, my whole ass life. That burp was not ladylike. You never met my aunt. My aunt definitely had a vagina. Well, I mean, I guess I never saw it, but she had kids, and the man she was dating was kind of homophobic. So, or not dating, the man she was married to was kind of homophobic. Not really, but kind of like in that, you know, sort of like Gen X irreverent kind of way. But anyway, point is, I don't think, you know, there's any chance that she didn't have a vagina, but she could burp with the best of them. Nothing here is ladylike. Okay, I mean, hey, if that's the way you feel. Not all ladies are ladylike. That's true, actually. Like, why do I have to conform to your specific vision of womanhood to be valid? It just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Do we want to play one more song before we go to Collins? Blood thinks he can be a girl. Blood is a girl. Period. Full stop. Is it weird that I'm a Republican that hates Trump? No. It's not weird. In fact, back in 2016, I don't know how old you are, but back in 2016, that was the dominant tendency in the Republican Party, pretty much until the day he won. Like, that's one of the reasons why, like, Trump now dominates the Republican Party, is because it's basically been taken over by a base that was, like, very unreliable voters before this. You have to conform because to them, women only have one form of value, trans misogyny, but if there were no trans, they would just hate women. They already do hate women. Every bit of trans misogyny is really just regular old misogyny being extrapolated. Like, the only reason why trans women are so hated is because of existent structures of patriarchy and woman hating. Women are seen as less valuable if they're not capable of producing children, and trans women are not capable of producing children in the way that women are typically able to produce children, therefore we're seen as worthless. we are also not useful for, at least not by default, we're not as useful for the other main utility that patriarchy sees in women, which is as pleasure devices. Which, of course, anyone that slept with a trans woman would know that we are, in fact, quite capable pleasure devices. But that misapprehension exists regardless. Women aren't a minority, technically, so I think misogyny isn't seen as that bad because it's so ubiquitous. Exactly. That's why it's seen as like so acceptable. That's why, despite all the many different waves of feminism, that's why we still live in a patriarchal society. Because no matter how hard we fight against it, there's like this strong undercurrent of it that exists, and it's so ubiquitous in our society. And there's like honestly a lot of women who have to perpetuate it. So it's like it's an uphill battle, but it's not an unwinnable one. They may have the higher ground, but we've got the long arm of history and superior numbers. I wish they would make our buttons bigger. Anyway, I'm going to play one last song to play us out. Can you define what a woman is without using the word itself? Sure. A person who is assumed to probably have a vagina based on the way they're dressed, the way their fat is distributed, the way they cut their hair, their mannerisms, etc. Or, alternatively, someone who identifies most closely with the gender typically associated with people who have a vagina. You are an idiot? Well, thank you for explaining how. I really appreciate it. Nothing like another fucking idiot telling me I'm an idiot. Anyway, let me think. How do I want to play us out? Play us into the next piece of content, I should say. About a picture that wasn't right. Pitch burning on a shining sheet. The only maker that you want to meet. A dying man in a living room. Shadow bases the floor. Take you out any open door. This is not my life. It's just a thought farewell to a friend. Not what I like. It's just a thought farewell to a friend. This is not my life. Thought farewell to a friend. Said really I just wanna dance. Good and evil match, perfect. It's a great romance. And I can deal with some psychic pain if I can blow down the higher brain. Veins full of disappearing heat, vomiting in the kitchen sink, reconnecting with the missing link. This is not my life. It's just a thought farewell to a friend. the enemy, the cold comfort of the in-between, a little less than a human being, a little less than a happy high, a little less than a suicide. The only thing that you really try. This is not my life. It's just a farewell to a friend who couldn't get things right. Just a farewell to a friend who couldn't get things right. Farewell to a friend. That song's got good energy, even if it is about kicking heroin addiction. Fond farewell, Elliott Smith, if you're curious. I identify as a 65-year-old and I want my social security segmented. Fucking okay, good luck. I really don't give a fuck. I like, motherfucker. All right, tell you what, you really want to argue about this shit? I am ready to inundate you with facts and logic. All you have to do is call in. Anyway, I'm going to end this stream here in the next 5 minutes and start a call-in stream. And if you want to join me for some lively debates, you're going to have to make sure you're subscribed to this channel, because that will ensure that you get the alert when it does go live here in the next few minutes. And yeah. That's about to be going here in a minute. I'm gonna put the guitar up for now. Maybe we'll do another stream. I might pull an all-nighter tonight because I didn't wake up until 3 p.m. and it might be time to just reset my sleep schedule and not go to sleep until 8 p.m. tomorrow, which does involve staying up over 24 hours. So, it's going to be kind of hard. But the other alternative is just continuing to let my sleep schedule lapse into these new and continuously less sustainable cycles. You ageist? Aw. How sad. The fuck do you have pentagrams all over the place? Because I want them, bitch. Because I think they're cool. Problem you got with it? Buddy, I stayed up 6 nights in a row. We don't need to hear about the wiles of your meth addiction, okay? I don't think the pentagrams are working. Exhibit A, the prosecution rests. Huh? PB's late night streams are killing my sleep schedule. Thank God I quit my job. Aw, no. I'm ruining people's lives over here. But not even with typical life ruination shit. I'm just kind of existing and being a cute trans girl online. And people are like, I'm going to stay up all night. Dude, my bangs are actually starting to look nice now that I've let them grow out a little bit. They're starting to look good again. I can't wait to go into an actual stylist and have them dress these up and make them look properly good. You are irrelevant, then why are you arguing with me? If I'm so irrelevant, then why are you here? Why are you bothered by my presence? What's the big deal? Night Shift Gang. Oh my god, you know what? We'll play one more song before we go. a friend of mine, and he could sing a song. His heart in every line. Marvin sang of the joy and pain. He opened up our minds, and I still can hear him say, oh, come with me, and you will see what's going on. Oh, say you will sing your songs forevermore, evermore, evermore. Now, gonna be some sweet sounds coming down off the night shift. I bet you're singing proud. I bet you pull a crowd. Gonna be a long night. It's gonna be alright on the night shift. You found another home. I know you're not alone on the night shift. Jackie, hey, what you doing now? It seems like yesterday when we were working out. Jackie, oh, you set the world on fire. Your voice, it lifted us. It rose and lifted us higher and higher. Say we'll sing your songs higher, higher, yeah. Say we'll sing your songs forevermore, evermore, evermore. Now, gonna be some sweet sounds coming down on the night shift. I bet you're singing proud. I bet you'll put a crowd. Gonna be a long night. It's gonna be alright on the night shift. You found another home. I know you're not alone on the night shift. You found another home. I know you're not alone on the night shift. That comment reminded me of that song and I had to play it. That was Night Shift, the Commodores. It's actually not a song about the night shift. It's obviously about dead people, but still. Beautiful song. Beautiful souls. Can you play the Charlie Kirk song? No, but I just wanted to write a new one. Charlie Kirk found his way to heaven. Charlie Kirk shot up live on stage. Charlie Kirk. He got shot with a rifle. Now I want to create a whole Charlie Kirk song based off of what is that song? Casey Jones. Oh, come on. You guys can make endless jokes about fucking Rob Reiner dying, but I can't make one joke about Charlie Kirk. You guys can make endless jokes about Democratic politicians getting bombs dropped at their doors, but I can't make one little Charlie Kirk joke. Come on now. All right, I'm trying to think of it. Man, when I get to thinking, it is so hard for me to like concentrate on anything else. Because here's what I've got so far. Charlie Kirk found his way to heaven. Charlie Kirk he got shot on stage. There's so many directions I could go with it. Found his way to heaven, misinformation. Maybe I'm just trying to make it seem acceptable to magas. Like, maybe I'm just, like, consider, you know? If the rest of the song is making fun of his assassination, you know, you can forgive me implying he might have went to heaven, right? He wasn't against anybody? Dude, he said he would, like, implicitly not trust black pilots merely because they're black and in an aviation position. Like, what? Okay, I think I might have come up with something. Charlie Kirk, he got in some trouble. Charlie Kirk got shot close to his brain. Charlie Kirk, he found his way to heaven. That's why you don't stay riding on the Epstein train. Charlie Kirk got into some trouble. Charlie Kirk got shot close to his brain. Charlie Kirk, he went up onto heaven. That's why you don't stay riding on the Epstein train. That was not funny. That was hilarious. Well, you're a loser? Maybe. But I always think it's funny that when you joke about one of the right's darlings, suddenly the right, who always loves to throw out things like, why can't you take a joke? No, suddenly they're all offended by jokes. Suddenly humor offends them and you're supposed to change to accommodate their sensitive ways. Are you a boy or a girl? A girl. Get a job? I have one. So far, I make $35.98 an hour, but anyone can give me a raise at any time by super chatting or donating to Cash App, which is down below. Erica Kirk is evil as fuck, I will admit, but Charlie was legit? Maybe. I don't know. I was really just making a joke about the whole thing. I don't really, like, hold a whole lot of hatred in my heart for Charlie Kirk. I don't think he should have been shot. You know? Like, I just, you know, like, where are we at as a society if we can't make jokes? Obviously, I politically oppose the dude. Obviously, I think there are some jokes to be made, or I wouldn't be making them. But that doesn't mean I hate the dude. I love Drewski's latest bit on Erica. Yeah, like, the whole internet blew up for that. By the way, thank you for the $5 raise. I appreciate it. If anybody else would like to have their comment or question read or answered, consider sending a super chat like that person did. Also, in a few minutes, we're going to be doing a call-in stream. So if you want to debate me live, let me know now. And, you know, stay on it. And when that starts up, you can be one of the first. Respect for that take. Thanks. Yeah, I mean, I think it's nuanced, you know. My standard line on Charlie Kirk is, I think Charlie Kirk was a backwards, bigoted moron, but nevertheless did not deserve to be shot dead like a dog on the street. Okay? That being said, I still think you can joke about it. Because I think if we lose the ability to joke about things in this society, we're done. We're done. We're done. Comedy is the root of anti-authoritarian messaging. Comedy is the most effective, one of the most effective ways that isn't music to get through to somebody. You're one of the smartest people I've ever watched on YouTube, and I think we can have some common ground. Oh, thank you. Well, fucking thank you, Lord Black Video. That's actually very kind of you. I don't know if I'm, like, actually the smartest. No, like, I'm a moron. But the difference between me and maybe the average person in America is that I read, and I went past the 6th grade reading level when I was in, like, 4th grade. I was reading, like, To Kill a Mockingbird by the time I was in 4th grade. I was reading Lord of the Rings by the time I was in 5th grade. I was reading, like, I was a very early reader, and I kept reading, and I still read. And that's really, like, literally the only fucking thing that sets me apart from your average fucking moron. I am not that smart. If you fucking didn't present me with all that information, I was just your average stupid fuck. All I had access to was whatever my family had on the news. I didn't have my own cell phone, didn't have my own, like, desire to read. Hadn't been, you know, like, here's the thing. Most people are not actually that different from me in intelligence. When I say that I'm, like, you know, not that smart, what I mean is that most people aren't fucking geniuses. The real distinction that people see in intelligence a lot of times, it's not a distinction in actual, like, intelligence that they're seeing. A lot of times they're confusing it for the ability to read and retain and comprehend that information. That's it. And that's a skill you can work on. I mean, some people have a harder time than others, but it's a skill you can work on. Oh, man. Can you play guitar or not? I've already played it a bunch this stream. If you wind back like 10 minutes, I was just playing just a few minutes ago, actually. Can you explain the upside down star? Sure. It is a spirit board. I don't use it for divination, but some people do use it for divination. I usually keep it upside down because I like the look of an upside down star. So normally I will keep it upside down with yes oriented up. One of these days, if you guys want to, I will set up a level zone and some candles, and we can play with it a little bit. We can consult the spirits. But I don't usually use it for divination. In fact, I've never used it for divination. How do people end up like this? Cool ass parents and an experience of life that is wide, broad, and covers a lot. The spirit don't queers. Look at that sentence. All of my haters, read that sentence and then tell me that I'm not at least smarter than my average hater. At least lay me that honor. Just curious, do you believe in God? No. I mean, maybe there's something that created the universe, but I don't think we've got any way of interacting with it or whatever. Do you use your cell to have callers? No. That would be tremendously stupid. That would be so fucking dumb. God, that would be stupid. No, I mean, if you're going to have callers, there's a number of different ways you can do it, but because of the way I stream, the most effective way I can do it is by inviting someone to the StreamYard link. So I vet them on Discord. Look at that, a gift membership! And just like that, one of them Smiths. See what I mean? See what I mean? Margot, that's why I say gifting memberships is good. So, we are very close in terms, well, we're very close because we've already met the monetary goal, but there's a goal, a content goal, a religious sode, I've been calling it, that I'm going to do here on this channel, where I'm going to talk about the relationship between far-right evangelicism here in the United States. I'm going to talk about far-right Wahhabism in the Middle East and the various different, sub-varieties of jihadism and shit like that, and the Zionist kind of tendency among Christians and Jewish people, well, specifically Judaism as a religion. We're going to look at that relationship. We're going to examine some prominent religious demagogues from the last 20 years, and we're going to do a couple hours of call-ins where we actually argue with some religious people. That's going to be like a specific requirement of joining the call. It has to be about religion. So that show will be happening soon. I don't know when. It'll be happening soon. I have to schedule it, but it'll happen if we get 48 more memberships within the next 6 days. That is the only part of the goal that we're missing right now. I need to have a goal ticker that I can put on here. I really do. I'm going to have to upgrade to one of those like mobile streaming apps that allows you to customize the layout and shit. You're awesome. I love worldly talks. Sweet. I hope. Can we have a patch tour? You can see the ones. I don't want to take it off and do the whole thing, but yeah, I've got do no harm but take no shit right here. I've got a patch that just says die on a banana that looks evil and insane. I've got the Animal Crossing apple right there. It's kind of hard to see. Over here, we've got some like little food ingredients, like some mushrooms and some like a carrot and an eggplant. Over here, we've got butterflies, which are a very common symbol for transformation among trans women. As above, so below, that's a patch that I made after it just faded, whatever the original design was. We've got a Colt 45 down here, and it's on a 45-ounce bottle, so that's cool. We've got the All Love Matters patch down here, which I really need to like trace and redraw and make it more, prominent. Then we've got It's So Hard to See Tomorrow Past Tonight, which is a line from a Front Bottom song called Peach, something like that. You are my peach, you are my plum, you are my earth, you are my sun. I can't remember the name of the song, but it's a line from that song that sticks with me. Then we've got Oh, the Anarchy A right here, of course. Proud anarchist, anarcho-syndicalist, if you're wanting the specific variety. Then we've got I'll love you till you love yourself, which I think is the way better corollary to, or the transverse example, or whatever you want to call it, to you can't love someone else unless they love themselves, or something like that. Like these ideas that love is this thing that has to be doled out to people specifically, and you can't love other people unless you love yourself, blah, blah, blah. No, I'll love you until you love yourself. And then we've got life sucks, because sometimes life sucks, and you just need like a reminder that you know that, and it's okay, and you've come to terms with it. Then we've got Hello Kitty with an AK-47 with a bayonet attachment. Let's see here. Oh, this is a prominent one. This is great. This is about the 2020 election. The lesser of two rapists is not a choice. Big fan of hating on lesser of two evils voting. Big lesser of two evils voting hater. Here we have a sunflower, which is just pretty. Then we've got dismantle the state. Fuck yeah. Patch Jordan and my fat ass needs to breathe. I'm an anti-theist. I don't know if you're only interested in talking to religious people, but I think all religion is detrimental to humanity. No, I think me and you could argue about that for sure. We could see where we agree and disagree. Yo, I almost got arrested at No Kings tonight in Portland. LOL, Portland police tried messing with us more than ICE or DHS did tonight. It was fun time. Too bad local cops are in bed with... oh, shit. Yeah, that's horrible. I'm glad you got out of there alive and unfettered. That's good. But yeah, I mean, there's lots of local PDs that are slowly starting to cooperate with the feds because they're starting to see it as the like path of least resistance. And like that was always to be expected. That's why I was always like, that's why you never, ever, ever heard me touting the idea that fucking local PDs are going to be the ones who stand up to ICE and shit like that. I might have said that it was going to require that, but I also would have fucking followed it up with, that's not going to happen. So it's going to require a mass uprising from the people, you know? Ignore was going hard. I don't doubt it. I'm Gucci and all that, but the local cops are more active than DHS or ICE tonight. Yeah, I mean that doesn't surprise me. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if DHS and ICE, due to this airport deployment and shit, are running a little low on officers and funding and shit like that. Because there's no doubt in my mind that to the extent these other organizations are operating, it's probably under secretive fucking transfers from ICE funding to other, to other bureaus under the Department of Homeland Security's banner. I agree, but No Kings is a waste of a movement because people don't use a backup plan. No Kings is not a waste of a movement from a certain perspective, but it's a waste of a movement if you are looking at it as a vehicle for change. You should really be looking at it as an opportunity to get to know local organizers, get to know local lefties that feel like you do, get to widen your social circle, get out there, get to know what it's like to protest, because we're going to need more and more people to know what that's like and to be prepared for a movement that does do something effective, which is bring 15 million people to bear on Washington, D.C. in an act of civil disobedience where we camp out on the sidewalks and parks and fucking everywhere we can fucking set up a tent or a kitchen, and we start advocating loudly for the changes that need to happen. Chiefly, an end to unconditional support to Israel and foreign wars in the Middle East. Then, universal health care. I think we need to come up with 5 fucking policies, and we need to just go. Get people there. Like an end to unconditional aid for Israel and fucking an end to the foreign wars in the Middle East. Universal health care. Complete infrastructure rehabilitation with an eye toward public transit. A universal basic income and a food stipend wouldn't be bad to ask for either, but there's a number of other directions you could take it. canceling all student debt and implementing taxpayer-funded higher education would be a good start if one of those policies is too lefty or socialist for you. Love you, Queen. Thank you. I love you guys as well. Not Been Fair are too old and young. I worry a lot. I am old. You know, I don't blame you for worrying. It is a worrisome time. Hi, Brad Baker. Vote against Zionist IPAC? Yeah. If you can. If you can vote against AIPAC, do. If you can't, don't vote in that selection. If you can, without getting your ballot thrown away, not vote for one of them, or vote for a write-in candidate or some other fucking thing, stop giving AIPAC votes. Stop giving moderate Democrats votes. And obviously you shouldn't be giving fucking Republicans votes. That's a non-starter for pro-worker policy. The only people who should vote for Republicans are billionaires. Literally. I'm not even kidding. That is the only people who should vote for Republicans are billionaires and like higher end millionaires with lots of shares in major companies and shit like that. If you don't have multiple millions of dollars sitting in like multiple accounts, then I'm sorry, but you should not be voting Republican. You're actively voting against your interests. You're also voting against your interests if you're voting for modern, moderate centrist Dems, but to a lesser degree. And there is an option there that doesn't exist with the Republicans, which is to vote in the primaries for actually progressive candidates. Question, Phoebe. Hit me with it. Chat full of smelly white guys who would break their neck trying to check their phone if they heard the grinder notif sound. Literally, dudes that would go like, huh? If they finally got that message notification, you know? They'd like trip over themselves. They'd have butterfingers all of a sudden. They'd have to pee. May I ask what you do for work? As a genuine question, I stream here on YouTube. I know this might seem like low production quality, but I apparently provide a product that's pretty worth donating towards because people love to watch, and you know the viewers are staying steady at 118. So, Fetterman and sentiments, a regular pattern with Senate Dems. Speak one thing and do another. Yeah, it's called rotating villain theory. There is always at least 2 Democrats in the Senate and a couple, sometimes a giant cadre in the House that just, they just don't want to get nothing done, man. Don't know what it is. They just want to vote for all the Republican packages. Before fucking Fetterman, it was Joe Manchin, Democratic senator from West Virginia, and he was the reason why nothing can happen. Does YouTube pay for live chats? YouTube pays for, no, like YouTube, like that's not my monetization model. So SuperChats are what I get paid from. Memberships, which you guys should join because we're only 48 away from getting an awesome content goal. The memberships are super cheap, by the way, and they are giftable. You can give them to other people. But yeah, so memberships, super chats. Every so often, I will go through my streams and go ahead and monetize the ones that don't have age restrictions and that are fine and good. And I put the ones that make 5,000 or less views on members only. They tend to be the more chill streams where we talk about like deeper and more esoteric topics that are less interesting to a broader audience. So I'm not intentionally ignoring you, tatted up scratcher. What's going on? What? Let me read your fucking chats. God damn it, man. I hate it when people come at me like this. Pisses me off. Would you have to pee if you had to work all day? What? Yeah? Huh? What? Dude, literally, the one time I actually look at someone's chat history to see what they're trying to argue with me about, and there was no arguments there. Deserved crash out. It might be a crash out, but it's a deserved crash out. You're not a streamer. You don't know what it's like. You don't know what it's like to have your time wasted by a random internet person, okay? Okay, that was the argument. Well, yeah, of course you're going to have to piss after a long day of work. The joke was not... What? I just don't know where... Like, the reason why I said they would have to pee is because, like, the joke Taylor made was about getting a Grindr notification, and, like, if you have a penis and you haven't peed in a while, but you, like, get aroused suddenly, you might, like, have to pee all of a sudden because you don't want to have to pee while you get an erection. I mean, like, now that I've had to explain it all, it really makes it sound like a weird observation, so, you know, fuck you for making me explain it and killing the humor in what was an otherwise good bit. Are you an optimist? I don't know. I don't know if I'm an optimist or a pessimist. I think it depends on the day. You will never find enjoyment in streams, but only in Christ. Interesting angle, but I already find enjoyment in streams. I love how the woke say Zionist instead of Jew. No, I say Zionist because I don't mean Jew. That's why I say Zionist. Because the Jewish people are just regular people like you and me. Zionists are a combined set of interests that represent different religious ideals. There are secular Zionists, there are Jewish Zionists, and there are Christian Zionists. And the Christian Zionists are the ones who actually have the, like, greater degree of power in this world. Donald Trump is not a Jewish Zionist, he is a Christian Zionist. Just as an example. Marco Rubio, Pete Hegseth, both Christian Zionists. How much does housing cost? I'm in the incredibly privileged position of living on inherited land that's been paid off since the 1940s. So, all my family has to pay every year is property tax, which is very little because I live in the deep south and our property is not worth that much. So basically our whole administration are Christo-Zionists. Yes, they are Christo-Zionist fascists, unironically. We are led by a cadre of death cultists who unironically want to end the world and replace it with their weird... I don't know, like, they don't... It's not that they want to replace the world. They want to end the world and make the rapture happen, which is impossible. You know, I was thinking about this earlier, because I had a conversation with Paul Zigo earlier today about the trifecta of interest that I believe is causing this Iran war. And he was talking about how they're stupid and all this, and I was like, well, they are stupid, but it's more than that. They're not, like, completely stupid. They do have a grand strategy. It's just a stupid strategy. It's not that they're just blundering around, don't know what they're doing, have no idea how to approach this, yada, yada, yada. No, they do have a grand strategy. It's the strategy itself is stupid, and the goals are stupid. But it's not like the stupidity runs, like, to that degree. They're stupid in terms of their avarice. They are stupid by brunt of their avarice and their hubris. Now, some of them are genuinely just kind of retarded, like Elon Musk or Jeffrey Epstein, or Donald Trump for that matter. But there are people who are both who are both smart and evil that surround the Trump administration. There's not a ton of them, but there's enough to make it a problem. And yes, their overall goals are stupid and avaricious, but, like, of course, they're fucking evil people. They believe in Christo-fascist Zionist nonsense. They believe in a death cult. Or they're billionaires that want to see every bit of the Middle East's mineral and oil wealth appropriated to their companies, to their bank accounts, to their benefit. These things, it's the illusion of shared interest. All of the involved parties, that trifecta I keep talking about, the ghouls, the people on the ground that are just working regular jobs, want to see this Iran war happen, basically because like they just want to see bloodshed. They don't actually have a financial interest in it because like their financial interest is against the war. If they were actually to critically examine it, they don't have like a religious interest in it because they don't genuinely care about that shit. They just want to see war happen. They just want to see America take over shit. They might have some vague, like, dunderheaded idea that it might improve their lives at some point in the future, but they're not really thinking about it all that hard. So the ghouls, the Zionists, and the billionaires, they all, I think, feel like they are all in this together, and they share the same interests, and they share the same goals, but they don't. They all want to kick the bucket, like they all want to kick the same bucket, but they're going to start fighting like hell once it comes to which room to carry it to next. I love your bangs. Thank you. They just want to see America take over shit. That's literally almost every country, bro, getting zooted about talking about politics. No, that's not the trait. Like, literally not the case. The Vatican does not want to take over every country. Great Britain does not want to take over every country. In fact, over the last 200 years, Great Britain has given up pretty much all of its overseas holdings. So the Bible explains everything. It's literal magic. No, it is not. There are vagaries in the Bible that people have applied to every single century of human life since it was compiled as a document. Yeah, Margot wrote the Bible. Tell him, Margot, you wrote it to be vague enough to where you can apply it to any old bullshit. You know what I just thought about for absolutely no reason? I got hairy legs. Yeah. No, I got hairy legs. And I used to sit in the pool, and sometimes I like to sit in the pool, and the kids will come up and they'll run their hands down my legs, and they'll watch the hair come down and pop back up. And so I know about roaches. And I tell you a story. I used to be a lifeguard at this pool. Does anybody know the story yet? Does anybody know what I'm referencing yet? Okay, I know a piece of content we gotta cover when we start the desktop stream. You guys don't remember Joe Biden's most embarrassing old man moment. It didn't happen on the debate stage. It wasn't when he was sundowning in front of God and America's population. Nope. Joe Biden's most embarrassing old man moment happened before he was ever fucking inaugurated. Happened before he was ever elected. Happened sitting beside a pool. on a beautiful summer day. Did you cut your bangs yourself? Yes, I do. Why do you use that pipe thing to smoke instead of something else? I like the pipe. It's contemplative. That was such a bizarre clip. Lady Ray gets it. Did you hear about the Florida State House District Mar-a-Lago is in flipping blue in a special election? I did. I'm so happy to hear about it. It is a sign of the times, man. People are sick of this Republican bullshit. And they're also sick of moderate Dems, which is good. I'm glad the messaging has been what it is. Honestly, I'm starting to have hope, not in the fucking like in the corny sense, really, not in the deep like, oh my god, I'm really hoping for shit, and I'm just, I've relegated myself to hope, but I'm kind of like I'm beginning to see a clearer path forward for the American people as times go on, because it does seem like the population is rejecting this like step towards like fascism and shit. And if we can get some effective progressive politicians in office between now and 2028 and start turning the direction more and more that way, and then get a real progressive in 2028 that is like unafraid of challenging the billionaires, like a Bernie Sanders type, but not captured the way Sanders is now, then I think we have a really fucking good chance of turning America's fates around. I'm all about that, Max. I think that is a really good idea that helps us transition towards a more market socialist kind of thing. It's like giving every person in a society a share in the economic output and a share in the responsibility. It's how society should work. We all share in the responsibility, but the way our society is set up, it's all fuck you, got mine, defrayed responsibility, and individualism. And I'm sorry, it just doesn't work anymore. No, the original libertarians were fucking leftists. The original libertarians were not Republicans. Alrighty. Well, I think now I've done fake outs so many times this stream so far, but I think unless we get any more donos or something like that, we are going to actually call the last 5-minute chunk of this stream before we go start the call-in stream. So if you're someone who wants to argue with me live, you'll get your chance here in a few minutes. It can be about anything. Um, I prefer political topics, but we can talk something religious as well. I don't even know what you're asking me about acapella. I'm sorry, I'm not familiar. What were your parents doing for a living, if you don't mind me asking? Oh, they used to run a business, actually. Like when I was like really young. After they divorced, my mom worked a couple of different jobs throughout the rest of my teenage years. It was not like some big business or something like that. It was just I don't want to talk about it too much. Do you have a job? When was the last time you brushed your teeth? Like 2 hours ago? Favorite socialist streamer? Paul Zigo. Or TJ if they consider themselves a socialist. Unemployed, got it? I should legit be good for that pretty soon. I'll stick around and see about joining in. Okay, bet. Yeah, definitely. And I can have you. I know you well enough, Ignar, that I can just have you on while I have other people on, honestly. Look up later if you can. I make nothing telling you. Okay, I'll look it up. I love bugs, especially king bugs. I also love king bugs. I don't know if he's in here tonight, but we love king bugs. King bugs probably got very drunk last night, so I understand if he's not in here tonight. May I also be allowed to join while you were debating? Like, do you want to participate or do you just want to listen in? Because it'll be streamed live here on the channel. But I mean, I guess if you want to get in, I don't know. I'll have to look at StreamYard and see how many guests I'm allowed to have on at once. Just finding another beer and heading to my friend's pad, so let's go. Hell yeah. All the mods gonna have a panel debate with Phoebes? Maybe. I'm hoping that I can get some magas from this chat in there to fucking argue with me. Needs to be not a circle jerk. I'd like to just listen in. Well, I will see how many stream people I can have on at once, but you might just have to listen through the, stream, unfortunately. But it'll be available on desktop and vertical, so if you have to, like, click off your screen, you can always watch the desktop one, and then you can just, like, whoop, But I'll see if I can have 4 people in at once. Because I would like to have Ignar on, like he was talking about, and then have some people that are, like, disagreeable. I bet we can have mod debate eventually, but I don't know what we disagree on and shit. Well, that's the thing, like, very few of my mods substantively disagree with me on much. I can name a few. Like, me and Perseus have had some disagreements. I think I made Finksy a mod eventually, but he doesn't come around anymore. And, we obviously disagree on mods. I'm sure there's some of my mods that disagree with me on shit. Why do you hate Trump so bad? I mean, honestly, I'm like one of the least TDS affected leftists you could talk to. I do despise Trump, but I feel like I despise him pretty equally with the rest of his administration. And I look at them all as like symptoms of an underlying illness that needs to be addressed if we're to ever get rid of people like that long term. Yo, it's my favorite socialist folk punk. Hey, what's up? Your girl here for another fucking another minute or two before we end this stream and go over to the call-in show. It's amazing how messages they disagree with keep getting deleted. How can there be any type of debate like that? I don't know. Arya, are you just like are you deleting everything that disagrees with me? Let me see. Is there freedom of speech? Yeah, okay. That's kind of just like bullshitty. I'm honestly not seeing a whole lot of like. Oh, I see why Jay Quincy got deleted. They're a fucking. I see. Alt. Yeah, it's just spam. It's just that person complaining that I make my money on YouTube and not making some rich person fabulously like wealthy. The fact that I'm not slaving away for McDonald's or some shitty little fucking tiny ass abusive mom and pop or something makes them pissed off, because they're probably some business owner that is struggling to hire people because they want them to work for $7.50, and they don't understand why people don't want to just like bow down and grovel because they happen to have the fucking deed to a business locked in a safe somewhere downtown. That doesn't like magically make people into perfectly willing and coerced servants for them. That pisses them off. And when they see someone like me who's clearly working class but is managing to make money on their own, doing something that is not working for one of their stupid fucking businesses, they get pissed off. Because I represent an escape route from their hamster wheel. Who do you work for? $2? Thank you for the $2. You and people like you. This channel is 100% audience funded. I've never talked to a PAC, advertiser, a fucking no chorus bullshit. I say what I want here. And I'm too unpredictable to be fucking tied up in one of those things. I mean, I might have some fucking content partners, but that's between me and the Danes. So you're a fucking working class person just like I am, and you're shitting on me for quote unquote not having a job? Bro, I've been streaming for an hour and 47 minutes, and so far I've made $47.98 in SuperChats. Yesterday I streamed for like 4 hours and I made like $250. Like, exactly how much money do I need to be making for my streaming for you to consider me fucking employed, bitch? It's just like, it's rude, it's presumptuous, and you can't blame me for thinking you're a business owner when you're out here, like, making the same exact kind of arguments that some privileged ass, out of touch, boomer ass business owner would be making. Techno Viking, the joke was that I had made $35 so far in the stream. Now I've made $47. So, you know, it's an hour and 47, it's an hour and 48 minutes in. So divide that by 2. It's like 23.60, you know, so far. That's anti-working class punking 48. Yeah, 100%. You should be reflective about that. Like, why do you hate a working class person who, by the way, I've worked that same job that you work, and I made less money than that when I worked it. And I worked regular fucking jobs all the way up until I started doing this. All the way up until I started getting monetized on YouTube. Thank you for the $10. One of them, Smiths, $10. I appreciate that so much. Gotta get those numbers up. Thank you. One of them, Smiths. I appreciate you so much. Also, just letting you guys know, consider joining the membership because you get access to a wide variety of backlogs of streams that are just for members because they were 5,000 viewers or less. Those are usually the more chill streams where we talk about more esoteric topics and theory and that kind of thing. If that interests you, consider signing up for the membership. You get to watch those. I also notice your chats way more often if you're a member. And as time goes on, and as there's more channel memes to make them out of, I'm going to be adding custom emojis for you guys. Furthermore, you can gift memberships, and we're only 48 memberships away from the Religious Ode, 6 hours of religious content, exclusively religious content. No one making $20 an hour is upper class unless they own like a significant amount of land. And by a significant amount of land, I mean like over 200 acres. I noticed one of your moderators banned me for spreading the good news. Here's my response to that. Everyone deserves to go to hell, but the forgiveness is what gets us into heaven. Yeah, that viewpoint is reprehensible. That viewpoint is repra-fucking-hensible. You're saying a little baby deserves hell? I think you deserve hell for saying that. Frankly. You're saying a little fucking 12-year-old kid getting on a school bus deserves hell? Fuck you. What a reprehensible thing to say. Yeah, you cannot be... You guys don't understand class distinctions. Upper class doesn't mean you're like... You know what a big problem in America is? We have no class awareness anymore. And a big demonstration of that is when you start talking about class distinctions, a lot of people think upper class means like, oh, you're clean and you buy nice things because, you know, they last longer and stuff like that. No, that's not what upper class means. You can do that and be relatively poor. Okay? That is not being upper class. Upper class is an economic position that refers to your position in the economy. Do you keep your wealth in maybe a house, maybe a car, maybe a few pieces of jewelry, or do you keep your wealth in businesses, stocks, CDs, different savings accounts, other houses? Fucking, like, that is what upper class means. Upper class is a synonym for ownership class, which is a way more appropriate term, and it's way more descriptive, way more accurate to the like concept being described as well. I'm Jewish, but I believe Jesus is the Messiah and that there is a hell. So, can I ask, what is the Friar Tuck? What is the distinction between you and a Christian? Wealth isn't measured by money, it's measured by quality of life. No, it's not. Wealth is measured by money. Wealth is a concept intrinsically tied to money. So they're like ethnically Jewish? Well, I think I'll wait for them to say that. What did you think about Charlie Kirk? I think he was a backwards, bigoted moron, but nevertheless did not deserve to be shot dead like a dog on the street. All right, well, it is, wealth is 100% determined by quality of life? No, it's not. Sorry, it isn't. Because you can have all like their quality of life is an entirely subjective thing. I mean, I guess it's not entirely subjective, but it's like there are certainly averages and standards to be sought for, but like different people can be satisfied with different things. Like, not everyone values having a bunch of luxury fucking things around. Not everybody's idea of being like, not everybody's idea of having a high quality of life involves being surrounded with a bunch of, like, quality of life products and creature comforts and shit. Yes, ethnically Jewish. Oh, okay. Wealth is not a fucking indicator of quality of life. Oh my god. Oh my god. Wealth is an economic descriptor. It is not a lifestyle descriptor. It is not a fucking describer of your quality of life. It has nothing to do with any of that. This is the consequence of illiteracy in America. This is the consequence. And it's also the consequence, by the way, of all the media that proliferates through America that is subtly capitalist in nature, that has this underlying message that is basically what my chat is telling me right now, which is that, well, no matter how poor we are, we have each other, and that's all we need. And that's where the real wealth is. Which maybe sounds anti-capitalist if you look at it from a fucking surface fucking level, but what it's really saying is, be satisfied with nothing. Wealth is defined by the abundance of assets. Assets are not limited to... Which is it? I'm the one that's defined wealth as being like an economic thing. You're the one who tied it to quality of life. I've been making the argument this whole time that wealth is an economic indicator. Anyway, I'm going to end this stream. Stay subscribed to the channel and hit me up on the new stream that's going to be starting up. It's already scheduled. It's about to go live. I'm going to go over there in just a minute. But I'm going to end this one for now. And we'll start up over there. Be back in a minute.